feel like people are getting fatigued from like very perfect, almost like algorithmic pop.
It's kind of strange. It's almost like you do better when you do something that wasn't following the formula to how to make a hit.
People really respond most when you kind of just hit what's natural.
I was saying, I haven't camped at a festival for years.
I don't think I've ever done that.
Yeah.
I think there was not, I like didn't go to festivals a lot in high school.
And that is the time to do it, really.
Yeah.
Are you seeing anyone else today as well? Or did you see anyone? I saw Sexy Red last night. Did you?
Fuck, I wish I did.
She tore.
I fucked up. I was so beat yesterday that I had to go
well, you
home at a certain
performed.
point. Yeah,
honestly, after I perform, I'm like, I'm out of here.
First weekend, I saw a lot of sets. I saw your set. I saw Turnstile for a little bit.
Holy shit.
I saw The Strokes. I was running around.
I need to see him.
Yeah, Turnstile was sick. That was great. And then I saw Bieber too. I cried.
Oh yeah, you said that you used to have that.
I love Justin Bieber. I loved his set. I was on my private Twitter defending him, being like, you guys don't get it.
It's art.
Yeah,
it's
it was.
art.
I loved it. It really made me emotional.
Yeah, no, it was great. I loved
it.
I'm gonna try and see Addison actually in the crowd.
Oh yeah.
Because I was only in the I could only hear her last time.
Same. I was watching kind of from back, but it sounded really great.
It did sound good.
And I watched the videos online. She's she is everything. I loved.
Everything and more.
Yeah. I will say, I've been such a fan of you for so long. I was I was so happy you started you posted my song and I was like, oh my God.
Yeah. I literally, well, same. First of all,
Thank you.
Since self-titled.
Oh my God, really?
Maybe since self-titled.
That shocks me.
No.
That's so cool.
But I will say that for this specific era, I was I saw everything happening. I was tapping in. I was like, okay, let's get into this. Listen to everything first day. Every single you put out, I was listening first day. And then I was like, okay, I see where she's going with this. I'm excited to hear the whole album. I was holding my excitement for that. But then literally one of my close friends who's a drag queen, so obviously Crank was the one that for him was oh my God, are you you need to tap into Slayyyter? I was like, what do you mean tap in? I've literally been listening to every single as they've come out. And he goes, no, this is the one. Crank is the one. And he would not stop just randomly. You met him, he no, you met one. I've got so many friends that just keep going, Crank!
Oh my
Crank
God!
It. And so this specific, he literally will just go, literally anything, he'll go, Crank it!
It's like a new nervous tick.
Literally, and then from that point on, we just developed this obsession. So it came from a very normal fan enjoyment, oh, this is really sick, I can't wait to hear everything. To then it was oh no, now I'm pissed.
God.
Now I'm really here for everything, and now we've just been watching everything. Now it's reached almost you met all of the people I was talking about the other day.
Oh my God, yeah.
Baby, we are now stands. So
oh my God, thank you.
Just everything, the new album, everything, literally everything you do, we're just watching and we're like, did you see how she did this? This was amazing.
Oh my
how
God,
she got the rabbits on, she didn't get a billboard, she got the rabbits, amazing.
Those filthy little rabbits of mine.
I live. But yes, I just yapped a bit hard there, but I just wanted to give you the lore as to how it developed into. And then I was like, okay, I have to, not I need to put this on my story, but I was just I want all my fans to know that this is what right now, this is the mood board, this is the sound board. And so I think, and I'm just glad that now you're getting so many flowers from every angle.
Thank you.
Amazing.
Wow. I'm so shocked. I'm not that. I guess I'm not that shocked. I feel like I've been tapped into, I've been following you for a while. You always are kind of you have your finger on the pulse of a lot of more underground shit as well. I feel like you've had this insane trajectory, but you still, I feel like you're an internet kid kind of me. You know what I mean?
Kid.
I feel like we both come from the same
Definitely.
I'm chronically online.
I feel like people that are just getting into you now are probably not even aware of the deep lore around you, which I find so funny. And it's there's just so many bits of lore which I attach to you just through things I've seen on Twitter and whether it's that picture of you and Kim or
oh yeah. Trans girl power, or SoundCloud lore, yeah.
Literally just every tiny bit. I think the era that you came up with, even the the Aisha eroticas of it all, and that whole era, and I just not that I think it's at all been overlooked, but I think that all the younger people getting into your music today I feel like aren't probably aware of all of that deep lore. And I think that that is such a big part of you and like your, like where you are. For me, I think what makes you so exciting is that it's like a lot of me and like a lot of people I know are watching all the little things being put in place for you to get here. But I think it's equally as fun to imagine that there's like a random kid from like somewhere in America that's like, oh my God, Slayyyter's new, like she's just come out, like she's just, and it's like, honey, this is deep internet like lore right here. So that's what I find so fascinating about internet, like how deep it goes.
I almost like died from an oyster, and I feel like something really stupid is gonna like take me out.
How long ago was that?
I think like 2 years ago.
How did you, because there was bacteria?
It was crazy. I like did my first like vacation for myself because I'd been touring for a long time, and I had a tour, or I had a show in like Germany. We're like, let's go to Italy and like for a couple days before like this show and like treat ourselves and it'll be fun. And we went to Santa Margherita and like Portofino, and on the very last day of vacation I was like walking around, I was like, no, I don't feel so good.
Lies.
And I was like feeling really crazy. And then, I like, it was really actually insane. I had like a seizure. I had to go to the hospital. It was really, I went paralyzed from like the waist down. I was like throwing up. I was in an ambulance. I actually like thought I was gonna die.
Yeah, I mean,
and then I was on like FaceTime with my manager, and I was like, Kitty, like help me, like something's wrong. And he put me in touch with like a friend of his that's a doctor, and he's like, have you had any oysters lately? And I was like, yeah. And it was Vibrio.
What is Vibrio?
It's a bacteria in oysters,
bacteria.
And it's like odorless. Like it tasted like a great oyster. It wasn't like a bad oyster, but it's like there's like a 60% mortality rate. So like 60% chance of dying. And I was like, I'm like Missouri and like corn fed, and I was like, that shit's not taking me out.
There's absolutely no way. I learned today that oysters.
Yeah, and I was a big oyster lover, but I won't really.
Never.
Yeah,
well, now I'm never having an oyster again. I wonder if it
really
also
bad.
if mussels are affected too. You know, mussels.
If it's cooked, no.
Oh, because it's raw. That's why.
Because it's raw. It's like it's like every time you eat oysters, it's like roulette.
Yeah.
And I keep seeing everyone. I'm like everyone like sends me the oyster articles. Everyone's like, look, someone died in Louisiana. I'm like, oh my God, like.
No way. You really
crazy.
are a. I mean, that could have been so fucking bad.
Yeah. But then I played the show still, like the next day.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, after you. Me the other day getting my wisdom tooth out, and I did a show in Mexico the day off. My cheek was like out to here.
Fuck.
I was like, hello everybody.
Wisdom teeth? That's crazy.
It was only one though. I've never, the 4 at once sounds crazy.
Yeah.
Did you have any of that?
I got mine taken out like before I even started music, and it was like the only surgery I've ever really had.
Yeah, you're chilling.
And I hated it.
It was horrible.
like,
I mean, it's horrible. The recovery is horrible.
Yeah.
I just keep getting things lodged. I mean, it's disgusting.
Would you say with your music, like it's like a character, or would you say that you and like PinkPantheress is pretty married?
I would say, I think the more I go on, the more we're married, because when I first started off, I feel like, well, I actually don't know. It's so weird that, because I always think about it in terms of like, as she said, I'm putting on a literal, wig, like Hannah Montana.
Yeah.
Because I do think that I struggle a lot being, I don't struggle with being raw and honest. I'm very honest in interviews. I'm very honest. Like, I'm the type of person where, like, if somebody's like, when people casually be like, hey, how are you? If I'm not feeling good, I'll genuinely be like, oh, I feel like fucking shit today.
Yeah.
And
I love that.
Which is a British thing, I feel like. But also, I feel like people should do it more in general. It's like, if you don't feel good, you don't have to say. But, so when let's say I want to walk around Coachella, like, I have such a anxiety around, I don't like attention, basically. I don't enjoy attention the way that I think a lot of performers do. I think a lot of people perform because they enjoy attention, which is great, because why not? Like, if you feel like you deliver something, then you deserve attention, and But me, I've never felt deserving of attention. I never felt like outwardly I was this showgirl that I'm not. Like, naturally, I'm really not. So I've had to develop this kind of like way like for my brain extrovert. To cope, almost like, so it's like, oh, I'm a character. It's not actually you they're looking at you, at you as a character.
Yeah.
And that's how I can go up on stage and do that, because it's like, well, none of these people know me. They know Pink, so it's fine. But the thing that I'm married to with my artistry is that my moral and my ethics are still the same. So that's untouched. But I'd say definitely in terms of performance and like, that for me is like the one thing I've struggled with. Yeah,
that's interesting. I feel like you seem so friendly. Like, I wouldn't take you as like more introverted, but I get what you mean. It depends on the attention. I feel like I don't know, like I always love when people like want to come up and say hi, like I always like to just like have a conversation and like, you know, not, but like I feel like it depends on the attention. Sometimes when it's like more industry or like even like people who are like, I don't know, like other celebrities or things, when they come up to me, I'm always like, I get so nervous.
Yeah, I get. Do you go out in disguise or do you go out like pretty much like?
No, I feel like everything has been happening in the span of a week. So I don't really, like, before all of this,
up to date with that.
No one was really clocking it, but I feel like my hair and like the hat, I feel like people, I feel like people like notice that more. I don't really mind that kind of attention. I feel like I don't really have like a persona per se anymore. It kind of started as one with like mixtape era, like this very like Britney Spears drag impersonator like thing I was doing, but now it all kind of just feels like the same thing. Like Slayyyter almost feels like a nickname. It's not really so much as a character. But I definitely think it's Grace, Catherine Grace.
I didn't even, wow.
Such a random, I feel like government name reveal. I'm like, Catherine Grace.
I love it,
But I go by Grace. Like my mom calls me Grace and everyone calls me Grace.
Okay.
But yeah, my last name is Garner. Like
that's so cool, Catherine Grace.
Catherine Grace Garner.
Very British, actually, honestly.
Really?
Yeah, very British sounding to me.
Yeah, my mom loved like royal names. Like my sister's name is Elizabeth.
Oh wow! I mean, wow. She took it there.
But I definitely think someone different kind of comes out on stage. Like I'm not like in date. Well, I was about to be like in day-to-day life. I'm not like, but like maybe I am. Maybe a little bit. It's all kind of the same, but I feel like on stage, you kind of have to channel something else. I'm not like, I feel like I black out a little bit when I perform.
One thing about your set which absolutely gagged me, which obviously I expected it anyway, because I heard it in the album, but your live vocals are so good.
Thank you.
So, like, as in, like, some of these, like, notes that you are hitting, like, are really, really amazingly hit.
I feel like it's so random that I can do that. I'm always like, that's so
I was kind of feeling that way too. Not random, but it's like you kind of expect people that make our kind of ours when it's not like necessarily we make the same type of music, but when you're adjacent to our space, I feel like a lot of people assume that we aren't. Well, I can speak for myself. I'm not a vocalist, but I feel like people definitely.
Yes, you are. I feel like you.
Baby.
I feel like your voice, though, like your artistry. I always like have said this about you and your music. It's so distinctly you. There is not a single person who can really. They can try, but no one can replicate your sound.
Well, thank you.
Which is such a cool distinction. I feel like that's true artistry. When I think of like my favorite artists are like really iconic people in music, it's because they were able to do something that people can't replicate, whether it's like Sophie or like Courtney Love or like, you know what I mean? There's so many, it's like something that you can't like copy paste.
Wow, well, I appreciate.
You know what I mean? So I feel like you are a vocalist. Your voice is so distinctive. I can't imagine someone being able to make music. You know what I mean? It's just, you
in that
sound
angle,
like you.
From that angle, I'll definitely take it. But I wish that I could do some of these like longer, like these holds would be my dream. So yeah, just hats up.
Well, sometimes there's pressure because like when your voice starts going a little bit, which it definitely, I was like praying to God on stage. I was like, oh
Especially
God.
Especially with these sands going up my nose every fucking minute in this fucking place. But
I used to not really be much of a vocalist. I feel like mixtape era, I had to shake your voice, but I think just years of touring, like it's like a muscle that's strengthened. So I feel like I just try randomly. I'll be like.
You also need to have the audacity to do it, and I feel like. Now you're being audacious on stage, like for sure. I would do it too if I genuinely if I one day get audacious enough to start singing like that. You might hear a high note from me one day.
Yeah, honestly, TikTok tutorials. That's where I learned like screamo.
No.
Yeah, I learned like there's like a girl with pink hair. There's a girl with pink hair, and she's like does like screamo. It's like screamo lessons and growling lessons. So I learned how to be like.
Must find that girl.
Yeah, shout out to her, free lesson. Yeah.
I think I actually know which one you're. When you did the I was like, okay, actually, I think.
Yeah, I'll be sitting in my room and it'll be like, okay, start like in like growling lessons.
Get that guttural scream.
Get that guttural scream.
Body.
Breathe out from the diaphragm.
I live.
Start with like the crazy shit. It's like, what's your biggest psycho fuck moment? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I have so many. It's like I can't even. But like, I'm curious if you have any moments where you were like, oh, you know.
Actually, I'm trying to think. I'm actually a very vanilla person. All of my, I have the life of someone that shouldn't be have a vanilla life. Obviously, doing the whole pop star arc, but I am someone that love control so much that I have to control all aspects. The only thing I had to overcome was as we mentioned earlier, my stage fright. So I walked on stage, used to go on stage, I don't know if you know this, I used to go on stage with a bag.
With the iconic.
With a purse, and so.
Iconic.
It was pretty, funnily enough, in hindsight, I guess, now it's been a few years to let it mellow out. People now say it's iconic, but at the time, I used to look ridiculous. Like,
I don't think so. That's
purse.
like, there was something very effortless and cool about that.
And
I'm gonna come out with a purse tonight.
I would love,
need to, yeah.
yes, I would love to. And you know what's so funny? In the set that I do here, we have one song where I'm like, okay, let me bring this purse out, and I tease it, and then I like, no, but they're not gonna get the whole show with the purse. But
I love that.
Yes, I must. Well, that story you told me with the fucking oyster.
Yeah.
That for me is like, that's gotta be the one.
That was a big fuck up moment. I feel like I'm the same way with Control, where I really don't drink before performances. I go pretty stone cold sober on tours.
Yeah.
Just because the singing, it like being hungover, it messes with my voice. I get like loud when I'm drunk too, but I definitely have like, I feel like I like at events I get nervous or like things where like I always feel very out of place around like celebrities.
Yeah. So same.
Yeah.
Same, by the way.
So
I
like
really can't.
I feel like in the past, like my like 4 invites I've gotten to like something where crazy people are there, I like will get like shit faced, and I have been. It's bad. It's been bad.
It's been bad. At those events, I also get drunk. Not crazy bad, but I've definitely said things to some people. I'm trying to think.
I definitely don't approach people anymore. I like keep to myself because I'm like, they don't want to hear from my ass. I'm just gonna keep it tucked in the corner.
No, yeah, I don't know what it is about when I'm drunk. I try to be so funny. I try to get everyone laughing, but it's like, I don't know why I enter that mode. I'm like, ugh. I don't know. It's the confidence. I'm like, I can say anything right now and everyone's gonna laugh, but the jokes always fall flat every time.
Yeah.
And so
I become a party clown for real, and I feel like I think people are laughing with me, and then I'm like, they're probably laughing because I'm like one eye open, being like.
Well, I'm sure you're a great time. I mean, I've never seen you at an event, which is so crazy because I feel like that would make sense. But well, hopefully the next, if I get that Stella McCartney invite, and you there too. We'll say, like, I remember her.
I will probably not be able to return.
Well,
it will probably not.
He's banned you. You're banned.
Get her banned. Get her banned.
So, when you found out about Coachella, when was this? Was this this was obviously pre-release of the album?
Yeah, I think it was fall of last year, maybe September of last year.
Oh god, they do ask early. I forget. I feel like I was asked like late. I don't know why, because I feel like I only found out that I was doing this like way later than everyone else. But okay, when they asked you, you were like, you had no hesitations. You were like, oh my god, I have to.
Yeah, I feel like it was like without a doubt I wanted to do it, and this was kind of before, obviously before album release, before like any real like serious attention with my music. There was like a little buzz, which is why I think they made the ask. But I feel like Coachella is just such an iconic. It's like a very integral moment of artist careers, like your Coachella debut and what you do. And honestly, I feel like it's something that like my whole, like since I was 22, I've been like making music since I was 22. It's something I always wanted, but like I always felt kind of out of reach. And I'm so glad it kind of happened at this moment.
So
which I'm sure you probably feel the same, where it's like, if you had stage fright, it's like you're kind of at you're like in like the zone now where it's like almost second nature to like, you know what I mean? Like you can really, like if I performed at Coachella in like 2018, oh my gosh, like what, I would have been like walking around in stripper heels, it would have been a nightmare. But
wait, I'm quite shocked that this is your debut actually.
Yeah, I feel like Coachella, I feel like it's it becomes such a like a milestone. Yeah. So it's like, this has been a really cool week just to see, I feel like everyone kind of like having this moment, like your set feels like this, like it becomes such like a pivotal thing that like we're in the now of it, so like you don't really think of it that way right now, but it's like in your career, like you look back and it's like, oh, like that was the Coachella debut. Or like even seeing like photos of like Amy Winehouse when she performed at Coachella for the first time. I love, like she was wearing just like jean shorts and a tank top, and it's just so sick. And she was in a tent too, and it was like people all the way back, and it just becomes such a cultural thing.
So true, because there's a point that gets to a point in people's careers where that's not even something they can, people can't do tents anymore. So it's good that you kind of have this like, exactly what you said. I was gonna say something else, but I've forgotten.
How has it been? I feel like you've been on such a journey, but now you're at this point where I feel like it's just you. There's nothing, no barrier, no like secrecy behind it, but
I definitely feel like I got, in a good way, bullied into being a better performer. I was not really, I always say to people, like, I've never like, I didn't get into music because I was a good vocalist or because I was a good performer. I got into music because it was like something I felt like I could do well, like whether it's production or like writing. So everything else just comes completely secondary / literally last in my like priorities. But what I realized was like, people are paying for tickets, so I really can't just be acting a fool on stage.
But you're such a natural though. Like I feel like,
girl.
I always say though, it takes a minute to like get cooking. Like videos of me performing during that mixtape era, I would wear like a pink like bedazzled bodysuit, like a Tanya Harding like figure skater bodysuit.
Love.
And my extensions would be showing in the back. And like I just like, you could see that there was like something about like loving to perform, but it just wasn't there. It like takes time. I feel like with internet now, like everyone, you have like a hit off moment and then you're like thrown into the deep end of this all. There's no like, I mean, I was like, there is Pop Star Academy, but like there's no like actual like, you know, it takes like a minute to kind of become comfortable in your skin. I feel like I haven't really found that until very recently, that I'm like super comfortable on stage in the way that I am.
I really liked your set actually. I really
Thank
liked
you.
the set. I liked how like it was unexpected. I think a lot of people were like, oh, what's she gonna do with this space? And I think that you did it in such a cool way. And I think that's why I like everything I'm seeing. I think it's just very like, it's just outside of the box. Like you're not like looking at something and going, okay, what have I seen done? You're going, okay, I'm looking at something, what haven't I seen done? Let me do what I haven't seen yet and like do that. Yeah. And I just, I thought it was cool. I love the little horse thing. I kind of was, where does that retire? Where does it retire to when you're on stage?
I think it's hanging, I think it's like, that's going back to LA now. Okay. I want it in my apartment. I keep being like, we found it on Facebook Marketplace for like 500 bucks.
No, you did not.
It was a little wobbly. I was like, this is a little sketchy up here. Cause I like stand on it and I was like, I feel like I'm gonna like, I could either fall and get injured on this stage and on this stream, but thankfully I didn't.
No, yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I feel like everything, I watched your interview with Zayn and when you were talking about like artist branding.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's interesting where like, I feel like what's been happening with me, this is like the most like me, St. Louis girl, Missouri, like where I'm from, how I dress. And I feel like same with, it's like such a British album and your aesthetic, like the tart and everything.
Yeah.
I feel like people really respond most when you kind of just hit what's like natural 100%. To you, you know?
I actually, by the way, did not know that you were from St. Louis.
Yeah.
That
like, really
has got me so weak. I need a picture of you in Sexy Red now.
She has this giant like St. Louis chain that's so sick. It's like the Cardinals, like the STL. And it's like photo. Just glistens. I need that.
But wait, what would you said something so interesting and now, my goodness, I've forgotten it. What did you say before we mentioned, the British thing? Yeah, I agree with you. I think that, I think when you tap into something that is so inherently, that's why when I came to LA for the first time and I was getting in with producers and people that were trying to almost strip back the Britishisms, I was kind of like, why would I do something that isn't natural to me? And it almost is kind of strange. It's almost like, you do better when you do something. It's like I feel like as musicians, when I first came out, I was taught like there was a formula to how to make a hit. Yeah. But every single song I've made that wasn't following the formula of a hit, or anything that I've done brand-wise that wasn't following the formula, like I've tried to fit in. I made my whole album that was me trying to like, I want to, appeal more to people. So here's an album that is me trying to do that. And in turn, what happened was like, I love it. It's my it's my debut album. I love my debut album, but I remember feeling like there was not enough of that rawness that kind of made me. And people picked up on it too. Like people were like, this is a great album, but I feel like she's kind of stripped back what makes her her and what made her unique in the first place. And that was when I was like, okay, I need to make Fancy that. I need to make the project, which is right now, which is like, I need to go back to where I was, produce for myself. I need to go back to doing not clean production and kind of getting weird with it. Yeah. But anyway, we're yapping.
Yeah, I feel like people are getting fatigued from like very perfect, almost like algorithmic pop hits.
Yeah,
I know that I am. I feel like the music I listen to in my day-to-day, or music that I really gravitate towards, is like your music or like underscores or just things that are like left of center.
Left of center for sure.
I feel like even with my project, I was very specific with I remember talking to Clint, who mixed everything, and I was like, I want you to like leave some like crunch in it. Like I don't want it to be so clean. Like I want it to like clip, or like I want like the bass to like be like the levels don't need to be
perfect.
Like I don't want it to sound so like expensive. I almost want to like have it sound like opposite. Cause all the music I grew up on is, like Space Cowboy production was like, you know what I mean? Like Nadia O music, it was also like crunchy and wacky.
Yeah, 100%. And actually what's so fun, I mean, and it goes with the whole brand anyway. It's like, it's the whole idea of like, you're an imperfect princess. It's like, it's And I did notice that too. And when I listened to the whole thing back to back, I was like, yeah, the mix is so imperfect. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I like and I also love the distortion of and your vocals,
Thank you.
the way your vocals distort too. Anyway. Did you get nervous for performing?
I don't. I was really nervous yesterday, actually.
Really?
Just because I feel like for the weekend one was like went so well. Usually right when I get off stage, I'll feel not nervous before, but then when I get off stage, I'm like, I didn't hit that note and I was terrible and everyone hates me and fucking blah, blah, blah. But I feel like yesterday it just felt like a lot of pressure, so I was a little nervous.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I feel like more people are
expecting.
Watching. Yeah.
That's kind of how I feel too. I kind of weirdly feel more pressure, but it's strange because obviously weekend one would be the one to be more nervous about. But
it's the follow-up because
It's the
everyone sees
follow-up.
it. It's like the surprise of everything weekend one. And then you're like, oh, I gotta like live up to
deliver
the
again. I know.
But you're gonna crush it.
We'll
Like,
see
come on.
about day.
No, your set was so amazing. I think when I met you, I told you, like, I was standing, it was packed back to like the bar, and there were so many people. I was like, I was getting like crowded. I was like, whoa, this is crazy, but it was sick.
Well, yeah, and I'm excited. Again, I don't know when this is airing, but well, obviously it's airing afterwards. But I'm having. Where's the camera? She's coming up on my stage today. She's making her little debut on the PinkPantheress stage. I'm so excited to have her in my nightclub queue.
I can't wait.
I was like, they were like, who do you want up? I was like, we need to get Mother up here. I'm sorry.
I'm like starting fights in line. Let me in.
I'm quite shocked that this is your debut, actually.
Yeah, I'm shocked as you. I feel like.
Well, no, I feel like for me, but I am quite shocked it's your debut because I think as well because I feel like with British acts here, that's not as. I feel like they reach out obviously to the American acts before they go they branch out for overseas. But this year's had a lot of British acts. Like we've got Fake Mink and Central C.
Yeah.
And like I think there's more which I'm forgetting the names of right now. But yeah, I'm quite surprised that you haven't been asked before. But I will say that they absolutely hit it big, booking you, and then like. I think they got it, and I think I saw on Twitter everyone was like, "Oh my God, they gave her 3 p.m. They gave her 3 p.m." But it's like
I loved that time. I feel like
I was like, "Hold on, you guys are it's not clocking to you guys. This is everything. Like it's the 3. She's bringing people here to the festival probably for the sole purpose of like seeing her that early. Like that is such a people are coming at 3 just to see you, and then they're gonna probably stay." Find acts that they didn't know that were, it's just, I think there's so much power in having that happen than it being, like, if honestly I would love the 3 p.m. slot. I'm honestly like, 9's cool, but there's something about, honestly, for me as well, I don't like performing in the dark.
Oh, really?
I like performing in light. I have such...
I'm so opposite. I love that's like...
In the dark?
Yeah, we're switched, I feel like.
No, I would love for us to switch, but can we do it? I mean, no, you performed already, but my point is, I have such specific parameters for what I like that so for Coachella this year, like obviously it is my debut, but I don't know what they were going to offer me, but we put in the request. I was like, I really would like a tent, and I don't mean like Sahara because that's not really a tent. I was like, I really want like the Mojave where I saw Basement Jaxx last year. I was like, I really want this specific vibe. There wasn't any, I don't think there was pushback or anything, but I think that they were like, oh really? Like she wants this tent? And I was like, yeah, I really, really want this tent. I think for a debut, like you and I think that is the perfect place to start.
Yeah.
I think taking it too big is just not, I just think that
it's a great stage.
It's a great stage, but I just think that there's such a beauty in finding yourself like 2 years later, Slayyyter's now playing outside stage, and then 2 years after that, maybe she's doing main stage. You know, that for me is a much better story than like my debut is, where I wasn't ready to fill up the whole stage and this whole space. It's like, I don't know, it felt perfect. So I think that honestly, I think me and you are 2 acts where it's like, I think there's been a lot of like buzz around the set. I think I've seen so many people praising your set, including myself. I was like completely gagged.
Gosh, thank you so
much.
much.
And I think that, I don't know. I think that honestly, it couldn't have gone more perfect for honestly either of us. But I think, I think it's gone completely perfect. I actually do not know who my team have organized. I definitely asked for Grace. That's so crazy saying your name like that. It feels wrong, but I'm definitely Meg Stolter, who I'm a big fan of, a huge fan of Meg. She is so fucking funny. I did get my Swedish queen Zara's here. She's coming up. So excited for her to do a little teaser of our remix for her new project. Who else? Chase Infinity, who is she's a doll. So I was like, please come up on stage.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, there's actually more. Janelle Monáe is coming up to play. I know, isn't that so, I love
That's legendary.
Janelle, and then we have Dev Hines, obviously Blood Orange.
Oh
playing.
my God, you're just so casual. I'm like that.
I'm like,
wow.
because I'm like reading them, I'm like, wait, there's a lot
That's
of fucking
major.
people coming up. But yeah, it's cute. It's just people that I'm really, I always just go out on a whim to ask people, and I'm never asking in like a, oh, what's gonna get me clout? I'm always asking in like a, who do I just want, you know what you're saying about seeing those pictures of Amy? I just want there to be a documented footage of me alongside people that I consider to be great. And I just think that is, you're right, it's cultural currency, and like 5-10 years, it's gonna be like, can you imagine that these people were all together? And who knows if like, when you're the biggest artist in the world, or when Meg is now like, you know, Oscar winning, like it's like, it's so interesting to imagine that, it's like the Oscar selfie, but like.
I love that, but
quite.
still though, I feel like you curate it all with like a lot of passion
100%.
per artist and per person. Like
100%.
I feel like you really like live, love, eat, breathe music, but you're very casual about it, which is cool.
I do live, love, and speaking
Live,
of
laugh, love.
live, love.